It's Edward Roski, and I'm asking good questions. So, what happens when the US military's favorite AI company is the only one refusing to do what the military wants? Because that's where we are right now. The Department of War, nay, the Department of Defense, just threatened to label Anthropic, that's the company behind Claude, the only AI model currently deployed on classified military systems. They threatened to label Anthropic a supply chain risk, which is the government basically pulling the whole hey, nice contracts you have there. Sure would be a shame if something happened to them move. The ask is actually kind of straightforward. Defense Secretary Hegseth says he wants every AI lab to allow the military to use their models for, quote, all lawful purposes with no restrictions. So OpenAI agreed, and Google agreed, and XAI agreed, and Anthropic said no. Now, they didn't say no to everything, which is what you might hear. Anthropic is actually fine with military use, but they drew the line at two specific things: mass domestic surveillance of American citizens and fully autonomous weapons that can fire without a human making the decision. And that's it, two lines. And the Pentagon wants them erased. So here's what makes this interesting beyond the obvious drama. Anthropic is not a scrappy startup grandstanding for some PR. Claude is embedded in classified systems. They have real defense contracts, real revenue at stake. This is not a company that just thought it would be fun to be principled and see what happened. The other labs, the ones that agreed to drop the restrictions, they're watching too, because the precedent here cuts both ways. If Anthropic holds the line and keeps its contracts, it proves you can set boundaries with the government. If Anthropic gets cut out and the Pentagon labels them a risk, then every AI company just learned that safety principles have a price tag, and the government knows exactly what that price is. The Pentagon CTO actually said it is not democratic for Anthropic to limit military use of its own product, which is an interesting definition of democracy, but I'm going to leave that to the political scientists. For anyone running a company that sells to the government, which is a lot of you, this is the case study to watch, because the question isn't whether your product will be asked to do something you're uncomfortable with. The question is what you do when the customer is the one entity you really can't afford to lose. So here's what I'm watching. If Anthropic blinks, AI safety as an industry differentiator is dead. It becomes marketing copy, not policy. Every company's responsible AI principles page becomes what terms of service already are, something nobody reads because everybody knows it doesn't mean anything. If Anthropic holds and the Pentagon backs down or compromises, it establishes that AI companies can negotiate with the most powerful customer on earth, and that is a precedent worth more than any single contract. If Anthropic holds and gets cut, well, then we're going to find out exactly how many AI companies are being principled versus how many were just being Anthropic adjacent. My guess is the number is going to be smaller than most of us would like. Either way, this gets resolved in the next few weeks, and the answer shapes the relationship between AI labs and governments for the next decade. Until next time, keep asking good questions.